Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about someone you may have heard of, a man by the name of Donald Sterling. And there was a report that came out on the TMZ on April 25th, 2014, which was played an audio recording of which was confirmed as Donald Sterling, the owner of the NBA's LA Clippers, making some racially, I guess you could say, derogatory, disparaging remarks connected with blacks, and specifically legendary NBA player Magic Johnson. And the NBA did take this very seriously, because there's no place for any kind of animosity against other races or just bigotry, racism in general in the NBA, sports world, or really anywhere for that matter. And what they did was they levied a pretty prodigious fine on him of $2.5 million, which might be like pocket change to him, because according to Wikipedia.com, Donald Sterling is worth like $1.9 billion. So that was the maximum the NBA could fine him based on their provisions or guidelines or what have you. They could not fine him for any more than that amount. And the NBA commissioner, I believe his name is Adam Silver, what he did was he banned Donald Sterling for life. And I mean, which is really a pretty, I felt that punishment was justified. You can't incarcerate someone for being a racist or a bigot. Some people wish they could. But what's going to happen is, because this has come out into the public eye, it's going to be harder for Donald Sterling to go to different places without being spotted. I mean, he's kind of a pretty big figure. I don't know if necessarily literally by his stature, but because of who he is and trying to be inconspicuous and being discreet. I mean, I'm sure he's been inundated with all kinds of derogatory remarks directed at him. And what's probably going to happen is that, well, I know this will happen, is that there's going to be an NBA vote, which the voters will be the remaining owners of the NBA will have to have a 3/4 or 75% majority vote in order to force Donald Sterling to sell the LA Clippers. And I believe this will happen. It wouldn't shock me, and I wouldn't be flabbergasted if this actually was a unanimous vote by the remaining NBA owners. I think it'll be anywhere between unanimous or maybe one person that decides to go the other way for some reason. You might get somebody in there that's like tries to be ultra compassionate towards Sterling, thinking, oh, it was just one time, one recording came out, gee, maybe we can give him a slap on the wrist and that's it. But I think even Michael Jordan, who's I believe is the majority owner of the Charlotte Bobcats, he had come out and said, I don't remember his exact words, but he was obviously he is definitely, I believe, I don't know what he stated exactly, but I believe he felt that this was appalling, and I'm sure he will be one of the people, because he is the majority owner. I believe he will be involved in the voting, and I'm sure he will vote Sterling out as far as being the owner of the Clippers. And Jordan is obviously someone vehemently against any kind of bigotry in the league. And LeBron James had come out and made a statement and said that he was full, I don't remember his words, his quote, but he was in support of what the NBA commissioner did regarding the stern punishment for Sterling. No pun intended. You're thinking, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, there was a pun intended, actually. Anyway, and just like with Donald Sterling, I mean, what's going to happen is he'll more likely than not, it's inevitable that he will have to sell the Clippers. But from what I read online it stated that I believe he's likely to be able to sell the Clippers for like probably over $500 million. It was like 545 million, 575 million. So this is going to be a tremendous amount of money that he's going to receive from it. And the guy is 80 years old. I mean, I understand he won't be able to go to any LA Clippers games anymore, assuming that he's forced to sell the team, since he has a lifetime banishment from the NBA, and if he has to sell the team, he's not going to have any connection with them. But I mean, 80 years old, he's gonna have a fortune, and he's still added to his $1.9 billion total equity as far as what he's worth. I just don't really know. When I look at this situation, I feel, okay, the NBA is emerging victorious in this whole scenario, but at the same time, I mean, you can't take away the hurt that this person caused, and due to the inflammatory racial statements that were made. It just shows you that I'm sure he's not the only prominent person in the sports world that has animosity toward other races, or is racist, at least on some level. And unfortunately, there's not like any kind of application you're going to sign and say that, or kind of a background check to see if somebody's polygraph to see if somebody's a racist or not, or has prejudice against other races that aren't that they are not. And there's probably really not a lot can be done in the future, except that they have to keep the punishments very stiff, whether it's the NBA or other sports, and just in life in general, with whether it's any other corporation or companies, because this is something obviously that can't be condoned or tolerated in any kind of world, whether it's the sports world or otherwise. Now, I mean, look at this. It's kind of a shame that we have to even distinguish people by the color of the skin. We'll say, well, this person's Asian, this person's white, this person's black, when we all are just a total collection of the human race, that we embody the human race. We're all people. We're all Homo sapiens. We're all human beings, or whatever you want to call it. That is what we are, and we have to, it's in a way, I mean, I understand why it is. I understand society and what the world is, that's how we distinguish people. But what's more important is not don't discriminate by color, but discriminate by the person's disposition, their demeanor, whether the person is corrupt or good, whether they have scruples or not. Remember, people, that is how we should discriminate against others. Just discriminate against the people that discriminate against you, not anyone because of the color of their skin, because those people are colorblind, and those are the people that need to be overlooked to some degree. But those are the ones in corporate life or what have you that will be discriminated against, or should be, ultimately, whether it's their job status or otherwise. So anyway, people, that's just basically what I wanted to get out on this Donald Sterling case. And just remember that that we are all brothers in this life. We're all part of God's kingdom, and He doesn't discriminate against somebody for superficial reasons, or because someone's color of their skin, ethnic background, their culture, what have you, and neither should we. And anyway, people, that'll be it. And just wanted to say that until next time, people, I'm glad whoever watched this, I appreciate it. And until next time, stay well.